now, and then that gives you time to. There you go. You're live.
Okay.
Did you grab the little table from the back?
No, I have a long table here that's by the piano that works well.
Okay,
And so,
sounds good.
yeah.
I'll let you go. You're live.
Okay.
All right.
See you later. Okay here? Yeah, you are fine.
I can move over more.
Getting the gist of where the table needs to go, and we're still a little early. Hi, George. Hello.
What do we need today?
We have the ankle weights, and I put him already on your chair, so wherever
okay.
you want to.
I'll sit here with the top.
And the cushions are here, so if you want to have a cushion.
Yeah.
Hope that's all working so people can see me. You're not in the picture, so that is good. So you decided not to go to the Arboretum.
No, I'm gonna be going there, I'm gonna be going all over the place. My son is coming in on the 18th
Yeah.
at midnight, and then he's gonna be here for 8 days. And when he's here, we always go to the parks, because he loves, he lives,
You'll have to
he
take
lives
these
in the
for
parks.
me.
So I'm gonna get plenty of that. Plus, the air quality's not too good this morning.
Well, since I walked in with both sticks today,
And how did it go?
rather than the hallways first,
Yeah.
I told you, I don't feel balanced.
Yeah.
I've already done 6 round trips this morning. I went down and had breakfast, came up, it was locked out, had to go back down and get the key. Came back up, and I got into my room, and then when I looked at my key wasn't there, and then I remembered I left it in the mailbox, so I went back downstairs again. So 6 times already, and by the time the day is over, it'll be
I haven't
7.
done it yet.
Wow.
I've been trying to fix a scanner for the end, it just isn't working. I have a high quality scanner, but I can't scan slides. I should be able to, but it isn't working.
Well, maybe Clayton could help, so he's pretty savvy. Or pass it on to Asa, she can check with Asa.
I can ask her, but I don't think it's gonna work. I may need a different program or something. It's just,
Those things are hard.
my scanner is older. I mean, it's a perfect scanner, but the software may not be compatible with what I'm doing, because I can make a regular scan of a picture, I can't scan a slide.
Yeah. Hi, Roxanne. Hi. Would you like a cushion to sit on?
Probably be a good idea.
So far,
There you go.
Thank you.
Look at that picture. The children are standing on lily pads. Oh, that was a picture.
They switch very quickly,
Yeah.
so, yeah. So, now most of our friends are out for the walking group today and here for Arboretum. So I think we go ahead and start. And again, we are live with the Northstone. Some of You who are out there, hi Patsy. Come on in, over there's a chair. Here, let me,
Can you get by?
yeah, I'm just kind of keeping the room clear of pathways.
Morning, good to see
Hello,
you.
Patsy.
Emily called me today. I have her as a backup. If I don't hear from you, she calls me. I think I'm gonna have you help me with these.
Okay, you want to have help, Patsy?
Yes, I will. Okay, thank you.
One, and
And two. Excellent, thank you very much.
yeah.
I never know what day we're gonna work with the weights, but I'm always happy when we do. Hi, Steph. It's another beautiful day.
Yeah, you know, what bothers me is the air quality because they keep saying that older people and people that are compromised should not be outside doing activities. And we don't,
Oh, God.
we just don't pay any attention to that.
Yeah, they're
So,
specifically talking about Seattle and Tacoma,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Yeah, I asked for Seattle. Last night, it was good and it was about 40. Today, it's moderate and it's 90. That's high in particulates, which is very bad for people with asthma or older people. I mean, I believe in paying attention to it because I think it's the particulates get into your lungs.
yeah. Well, sometimes it's also, if you talk about activity, maybe high exertion, so a walk in the park. But it's an individual, so their schedules have been right, and so people want to go. All right, so we start with our exercise class. So we have, if you want to work with the weights, there are ankle weights for you to put on. Now, making sure that you all who are participating have warmed up a little bit, walked around a bit, so that your legs, your muscles are warmed up. It's a good idea. And we'll start with our warm up for posture. This is all lower body strengthening today. So all the exercises we are doing focusing on lower body. With that said, it's also your abdominal muscles that always are engaged by sitting upright and tall. So do what you can do, leave out what causes pain, listen to your body, it's a guideline, and take a rest when you need to take a rest. Pick it back up when you're ready for it. So, all right, let's begin with a postural exercise. Let your arms come forward, have your shoulders relaxed back and down, and then imagine you're rolling something back. So kind of squeezing your shoulder blades together and let your arms come forward and down. We'll do that 3 more times. Lift, pull back, straighten and down. And then lift, pull back, straighten and down. And one more time. Lift, pull back, straighten and down. Then I like for you to just take your shoulder blades and squeeze them gently together and release without rolling your shoulders forward. So squeeze shoulder blades and let go without rolling your shoulders forward. And squeeze and release, squeeze and release. And again, that's for posture. Squeeze and release, squeeze and release. And then taking your toes up for a moment and back down and lifting up and back down and lift and lower and lift, and then just your heels. Lift, just becoming aware of the resistance you have. So, and let's take a breath in, letting your arms reach high, exhale out and down when you're ready, and breathing in, lifting up, exhale out and down, and let your right arm sweep up and over, and then your left arm. So again, we're just warming up from head to toe. Good. Let your right arm come over across and back down, and then your left arm comes across and over, and back down, right arm, and left arm. So give yourself a hug. Let your arms open wide. Give yourself a hug. Open arms wide. One more time. Give yourself that hug. Open arms wide and lean a little bit down towards your left or your right side. Whichever side you go, we change it. Kind of side leaning and reaching, warming up our spine. Side of the trunk. And then letting both arms switch from one side to the other. Kind of a half rotation. Good. And then taking hands to knees, hinging forward from our hip and rolling back up your spine from your low back to your mid back, your upper back, shoulders, neck, and head. Legs again. Hinge forward from your hip and roll back up your spine. Let's take that moment to aim for your right knee, hinge forward and roll back up. High pads, let me set up a chair for you. Come out here. Would you like ankle weights?
Sure.
Okay. All right, put it on. Okay. All right, I'm back. This is what happens in class, as you know. So, here we go. Yep, lean forward to your left and roll back up and hinge forward from your hip and roll back up. So I'm letting your right knee sink out a little bit and then your left. Again, this is just a warm up, a brief warm up again. Alternating from side to side. Good, and then making a step out a couple of times. Good, and then stepping back a little bit, as if you wipe your shoes off on a mat before you enter your house or your room. And then giving a gentle kick forward. You can just stretch the leg out a bit, keeping the heel on the floor. Good. So, and then shake out. So let's start with a exercise where we are going into our front right leg. It's going to be our quadricep, and it's starting with a knee extension. So the physical movement is that you lift your foot, maintain upright and tall posture, and then extend your leg straight forward. Keep it soft in the knee, and then come back in and extend it forward. Now you can always put your foot on the floor if you want to do that in between for relaxing the muscles. And we try to get that muscle nice and fatigued. So that might mean for everyone a different number. So I like for you for a moment to decide when do you need to pause before your muscle or when your muscle is fatigued and tired. And then taking a pause. So in numbers, ideally a repetition between 8 and 12, and then you could do another repetition of 8 and 12. But I like for you just in this class today, monitor that you're challenging yourself enough that you can do the exercise so you feel your muscle is getting tired and fatigued. On the work scale, somewhat hard to hard workload. So your left foot comes up, and again, here we go. So controlling your movement slow, so you have the control over the movement, avoiding momentum, all those guidelines as you inhale and exhale. And again, you decide without cheating yourself when you need to stop. Now, if I notice that you all do more than 15 repetitions, I would cut it off. Otherwise, you might say, oh, okay, I'll just keep going.
What kind of fruit is that in the back?
I don't know. I don't really see it clearly, so you tell me.
That's what I asked you because I don't know. I've never seen it work like that.
It's like oranges, isn't it?
It was,
No, they didn't have the skin, they were like leaching.
Take out.
Colorful.
That's a quiz question, so. Yeah, I have the screen there, but I can't really make out on the screen looking there what it is. All right, let's take a breath in, reach up. Exhale out and down. So let's take your right leg and be moving that right foot back rather than forward. As if you swipe your foot back and come front. So the same leg, right side, 2 and 3, and this is your hamstring muscle. All functional movements of daily activities of life, walking, getting in and out of the chair, balance, you name it. More times. And again, think of your whole body is working, so you sit tall as you do that leg work, the leg strengthening exercise. So notice what your knee joint is telling you here. Comfortable range of motion, but full range of motion. All right, let's switch to the other side. Here we go. And taking it back. And taking it back. So the physical movement is always focusing on moving that foot backwards. Couple more times. If you want to feel the muscle a little bit that you are working, you can push your hand underneath the hamstring, and each time you step back, that's when you might feel a little contraction taking place. Let's do last one. And then shaking your legs out. So let's move on to the next step here, where we are stepping out to the right side. It's not about the height, it's more that you choose the proper form. So your knee is in alignment with your ankle. It's like you're opening a door, a window. So it's out and back in. 3, 4, everyone breathing. I know that often gets a laugh or a smile, but just the idea of that we keep our breath work, the nutrition for our muscles and joints. So how was your morning this morning? Did it start out pretty good? Stephanie, you mentioned you went 6 times up and down, or?
I did, I mean, it's just amazing how many times I go up and down, and when you add that up,
Yeah.
and it always before 10 o'clock. Wow. It just happened, I forgot my key, so I had to go down, and somebody had to come and let me in, and then I found out the key was I left it in the mailbox, I said, go come again.
Let's switch.
It happens frequently.
Yeah, so I just pour it on as fast as I can and use it as a walk. It's better for my feet on that song.
Couple more times. And let's do one more. And shake it.
Stop.
George is counting. And still you could have done some more, right? Yeah, so that just tells you could use more weight actually. So the next one we are doing is working on our glutes, on your buttocks, and we'll do that by squeezing our buttocks together. And you're holding a $100 bill in between your buttocks, or whatever suits you. And then hold that position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then let go. Yeah. So while you hold for a count of 5 seconds, make sure you're breathing in and out. So squeeze, hold, and breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now, sometimes what happens is when we let go of the contraction, all of a sudden we're here. So keep posture upright, keep your chest nice and open so you can breathe efficiently. Better posture again and muscles in the neck. If you're here, they can shorten, it can cause discomfort and raise haymarks. So stay upright and open, shoulders back, relax and down, squeeze your buttocks, hold and breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1, release, keeping the head up high and squeeze and breathing in and out. 3, 2, 1, let go of the glutes, and again, squeeze and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, let go, grow tall to the sky, and squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5, and release, and tighten your glutes, breathing in and out, and getting ready to release. Few more times like so. Squeeze. Maybe it's not just $100 bill, maybe it's $101 bills.
I just dropped my $100 bill.
Or you just dropped it.
Drop it, right.
And release. Let's do one more. Squeeze and breathing in and out as you feel the muscles contracting in your glutes. And then letting go slowly. Stay tall. Take a breath in. Bring the awareness back to a long spine and a straight back as your arms come back down. Good. So now if you don't have your back supported, you don't need to, but before you start with the next exercise, I'd like for you to make sure you know how much abdominal strength you have when you lift those legs up. So if you know that you have low back pain, I recommend scooting back to the end of the chair, have your back supported, but sit tall, have both legs come forward, lifting them straight up. Toes are up. So now what we'll go into is adduction and abduction. So what we'll do is we'll have our feet go out into like a V and then coming back in. But see if you can just bring your heels together and your toes point out a little bit. So you get the inner thighs engaged. It's kind of like a jumping jack. Up. You can take your arms up here and back in. And 2. And in. And 3. And 4. 5. 6. Again, breathing in and out. 7. 8. 9. 10. Let's do 5 more. Let's aim for the next 5. Barry's having big eyes. George, where are we at? Okay, this is enough. So tap out a little bit your thigh muscles. And let's lift those legs up again. Toes point up. So now in this position, see when you are leaning back against the chair and you notice you're sitting upright and tall. Now try to lean away from the back of the chair. Just including your abdominals a bit more. So either lean back or lean away from the chair. Are you with me there?
No.
Okay, if not, ask questions if you're not sure. So let's point your toes forward and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 5 more. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. And then slowly come back down. Again, quadriceps, core. Here we go, and ankles. The next one we'll do is we begin to stand up. We do a sit to stand exercise. So again, make sure when you decide to stand up that you feel confident. If you say, well, today I don't want to stand fully up, do the half sit to stand, which I will demonstrate. So I would scoot forward to the front of the chair. My feet are a little bit further back. Arms can be on the chair, armrest, or here. Lean forward from your hip first, and then stand as tall as you can. Good. And then you would slowly Go hips back, buttocks back, and sit back down. Patsy, I'm gonna give you this chair here.
I'm so used to that chair. Thank
There you go.
you.
So. Hello, I'm back. All right, here we go. Lean forward from your hip and lift. Stand tall. And then hips, buttocks go back. Reach for the armrests if you need them. Here we go. Lean forward. Good. And back down. Well, let's try a couple more of those sit to stand exercises, which is also a balance exercise. Now, when we have our group here, most of the time we all try to stand when the teacher stands, right? It's not wrong, but I like for you to go within your own time frame so that you are feeling safe. It might take a little bit shorter or longer for you, and takes itself initiative to say to yourself, well, I need to rest a little bit, or I can keep it going for a couple more repetitions. Lean forward. Let's do one more.
One for the road.
One for the road.
One for the road.
Good. And then shake your legs out a bit. So with the next part, let's do the heel lift, and in a seated position, it gets your heels off the floor. Your calf muscles should feel a little bit tight as you lift your heels up and then coming back down. So it's lift for 1 and down, 2 and 3, 4, 5. So what do you see back there? 6, 7.
Which I've never seen in my life. I wonder if it was real.
5
Yeah,
more.
no. Wasn't that amazing, no?
Yeah.
It's real, doesn't it?
And sweep your arms up. So how are you feeling about standing up? Want to try it? So let's do another sit to stand, and it's okay to stay seated for the folks who want to stay seated, all right? So otherwise we stand, and we'll have the chair, the back of the chair in front of us. Now when you sit, you do the same what we do standing, yeah? So, all right. Good. So the next one we are doing is an abduction in a standing position where you choose your stronger leg as your standing leg, and the weaker leg goes up and out with your heel leading the way and coming back in, going out and in. Now when you are sitting, I'll demonstrate for the folks who are sitting, it would be out and in, out and in, yeah? So here we go. So 1, and again, sit and stand tall, 2, 3, strengthening the muscles around your hip, and your standing leg is also your leg that is working because it's weight bearing, so it's also good for bone strengthening. So it's combination really of balance, bone strength, and muscular strength. Couple more times. Let's do one last one. And if you like, shift, swivel, or shift your hips out a little bit, wiggle them out in between. And then changing to your other side. And your right leg goes up and out. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Looking straight ahead. Allow your eyes to look at eye level. Let's do a few more. And the last one. Again, swivel or switch a little bit from side to side, loosen up your hips, and then doing a couple of pelvic circles and reverse the direction. All right, so now let's focus on the next movement where we are doing a standing version of the glutes. So when you stand, you'll bring your right foot back a little bit. I'm just going to show you from the side. So here we go. The right foot is back, and I'm going to lift my right leg straight back. So the knee is straight, and then come back down. And 2, 3, 4, and Roxanne, you do it terrific. Let's see your adaptation. So taking your foot back towards the chair. Let's do a few more here. Feeling those movement physically on the buttock side on your right. One last one. And then we switch to the other side, your other leg. Again, before you start, bring your awareness back to posture. And here we go. Lifting your left leg straight back, knee is straight, and coming back in. 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7. A couple more times. 9, 10. A few more here. 2, 3, 4, and the last one. So now again, swivel or shift out from side to side a little bit in between those one-legged strengthening exercises. Okay. So from here, let's do another exercise where we are focusing back on ankle strength, calf strengthening. Standing, we are repeating ankle strengthening, calf strengthening by lifting our heels off the floor and then coming back down. Hold on to the chair because the focus is not balanced. The focus is really strengthening. So I like for you to make sure that you're supported. And with that, then really getting your heels off the floor, feeling your calves, tightening on each lift and lower back down. And looking straight ahead, all good things are, so they say, at eye level.
There's a lot of eye levels around here.
There are a lot of eye levels. Our eye levels are all different, right? I think you're looking over the horizon. A couple more times.
Awesome.
Let's go to 20.
Awesome.
Good. All right, and pause. So now lifting your toes and the ball of the foot. And as you do that, this is a strengthening for your tibia and the front of your ankle. Try to keep your buttocks, your tailbone tucked under. Are you with me there? Okay, so here we go. And then lower your front feet back down. So lift and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that, were you counting in
I was kind of in
Turkish? Okay,
Oh my.
let's reach up. Exhale out and down. So now let's focus for a moment on mini squats. So I'm going to turn my chair sideways again. So the mini squats, you want to think about there's a chair behind you and you're going to sit in that chair behind you. So try not to push your knees forward. Chairs behind you, buttocks go back, hips go back. Mini squats, 1 and 2 3, 4. Now you can take a wider stride, about hip width apart, shoulder width apart, for a better base of support. Let's do 5 more. Good, without holding on there. 2 more. Final 1. The next one we'll do, we are going into our hamstring curl, the standing version. So if you want to begin with one leg, you're going to bring that, like the heel up and back, work within your comfort range, and then back down. So from the sides, it's going to be like this. And up. So the knee bends. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do 3 more here. 8, 9, 10. And then changing to your other side. Here we go. Left heel goes up and back. 2 and 3, 4, 5. Keep it slow and controlled instead of using momentum. 9, 10, and take a pause. All right, let's take a breath in. If you want to reach, exhale out and down. So now the next one we are doing is going to, actually let's do this. Let's sit down, come back, have a seat, so we can shift our dynamic a little bit. And again, focus on that sit to stand, hips back, buttocks back. It's still an exercise. So. All right. And time-wise, I like for us to take our ankle weights off. So we have a little time for flexibility and stretching. Make sure you put your weights underneath your chair so they are out of the way for safety when we get up later on. So it's not a tripping hazard. How are those working for you, George? So
Still not. One foot is okay. The other foot
Takes-
still seems
takes time to
tight.
get used to.
Yeah.
So let's focus on a couple of flexibility exercises. So let's start with our right leg. Heel is on the floor. Your muscles are relaxed. If you're not getting your foot on the floor, scoot forward from the hip to the front of the chair. Rest your muscle. Bring your toes up. Feel the stretch in the calf, the back of your knee, maybe even your hamstring at this point. And then if you want to deepen the stretch, if you want to make it more intense, supported forward flexion, lean forward from your hip, and this will take it into a little more of a stretch than you would otherwise feel. So the intensity changes a bit here. And you decide where it feels right. A gentle pull is okay feeling, but never through pain. Then back off of it. So if you want, double check if your shoelaces are tight, if your tongue of your shoe is up.
I'm not worried about it now.
So, and then come straight back up. Those are all good. Again, just double check. It's good to make sure that we have everything buckled and tied and zipped and you name it. Again, intensity wise, if you at any given time need to back off a bit, or you want to deepen the stretch, you either lean forward a bit more from the hip, keep your back straight as you do that, or you back away a little bit to decrease the stretch. Breathing always as you work on the flexibility. And then coming straight back up. So now let's go and move into the front side stretch and the front of your hips. You can do that in a couple of different ways. The first part I show you is like this. Now, not everyone is comfortable and has their knee in this flex position. What you can do then is lifting your leg up and bringing your heel a little closer in towards your chair. You can crank your foot around. And again, you choose. The other one would be more intense, but also opening your hip flexors. Again, not forcing yourself through a movement.
Move your knee towards the
Yeah, sink the knee parallel to the floor. You are having the right position. Now, what you want to maybe try sometimes is if your toe is like, so when you are here and your toe is twisted, you might want to bring the toe like this. And again, not forcing the movement, never force any physical movement.
Just lay back on the toe. Just
The ball of the foot is okay if it works for you. And then change your sides. Sliding that foot back, so you open the front hip and quadricep. There you go, and you have the other option now. So, just think about a little bit. It's not always the best to go as far as you can. People might think, oh, I have to go as far as I can. That's not the case. The best is where you keep good alignment, where you don't feel pain, and where you don't lose the form. I can bring my foot back, but if I'm twisting and turning to do that, I don't want to go that far back. So let's bring your foot forward and shake out of it. So we'll take our right leg out to a diagonal angle. So feel the inner thigh stretching here. Scoot a bit forward to the front. Yeah. So, and then just allow to settle in. Let the muscle stretch and lengthen by you sitting and breathing. You can, kind of set an intention, being mindful of where you feel the stretch. So connecting with the stretch, the exercise, and then letting your left arm come up and over. And lowering your left arm back down. So the focus is on the inner side, and just elevate the arm for a bit of extra stretch in the trunk side. So now your left leg is going out to a diagonal. So find your angle. And then reaching your right arm up and over. Again, you can keep it lower. You don't have to do it high. So again, there are options. And lowering your right arm back down, bringing your left leg in. So let's take your hands onto your thighs for a moment. Lean forward from your hip, keep the back nice and straight. Think someone is having a tea party on your back. So the table is set for the tea party like a tabletop. Yes.
That takes a lot of imagination, but you can do it.
And roll back up your spine. Can you see all your friends you invited for that tea party, tabletop.
I'm enjoying the tea,
Hmm?
Earl Grey tea.
Earl Grey tea.
Alrighty.
How about decaf chai? Barry, what would your favorite be? Tea drinker? Are you a tea drinker?
I can be, yeah.
Can be. Any certain flavor you like?
Uh, Green.
Green tea? Let's roll back up your spine. Is it because you like it or because people say it's healthy? Reach up. Exhale out and down. So, and then sit all the way straight back. All the way back, letting your right leg come off the floor, and we'll circle our right foot in one direction and your left hands. We'll alternate the directions a little bit. One foot, one hand, and reverse again. And reverse. Let's switch the sides. So your left foot is up. Start with a circular motion first, and then add your opposite hands. Opposite hands.
What is your favorite tea?
I want to say Roboys.
What kind?
Roboys tea and chai. Decaf chai tea. Yeah. And there's another one, Lemon Zinger. Lemon Zinger. It's a very delicious herbal tea. Here we go. Let's reach up. Exhale out and down. So then rolling our shoulders forward, up and back and around.
You got enough room?
And reverse your direction. Good. And again, reverse your direction. So think shoulders roll forward, up, back, and down. Let's take it in stages for a moment. Forward, up, feel the back, shoulder blades together, and down. And front, up, back, and down. And then smooth it out, smooth it out. Good. Now just your right shoulder. Continue with the circular motion. Just your right shoulder. And just your left shoulder. And both shoulders. And then give yourself a hug. Okay, look for a moment towards your neighbor on your right. Even though that neighbor looks away, so you just see the back of the hair. And look to the neighbor on your left. And look straight ahead. What's in front of you? And let your arms open. Settle down. Good. So, and then scoot forward again, one hip at a time to the front of the chair. So we'll do a straddle position, nice and wide. Feet straddle seats. All right, here we go. Lean forward from your hip. Let your head relax and roll back up your spine from your low back to your mid back, your upper back, shoulders, neck, and head. Take it to your left knee and repeat. Hinge forward, aim for that left knee. Breathing in and out here. And now begin to roll back up your spine. Start at your low back, mid back, upper back, shoulders, neck, head, and then aim it towards your right side. Pitch it forward from your hip again. And begin to roll back up. Each vertebra on its own time. It's like unfolding, uncurling, like a fern. Crown of the head, last one of the fern, aim forward. So, become hip width apart. All right. Let's close your eyes for a moment. to just finish up with a little bit of mindfulness-based stress reduction and breathing. Having your eyes softly closed. Having your shoulders relaxed down.
That's nice. I should do it for you.
And visualize yourself as if you watch a movie of yourself sitting upright and tall. Or you can, think of someone else if you rather. Using your visualization, your imagination of sitting upright and tall, breathing, being in the moment. Noticing your sits bones connected to the chair. And noticing if you bear the same amount of weight over each sit bone. And if not, you don't have to change anything. You can, if you want to shift a little bit from side to side or readjust yourself, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just noticing. Noticing your feet connected to the ground beneath you. Noticing your toes relaxed and spread out in your shoes. Noticing and paying attention to your fingers of your right hand. You're starting with your thumb on your right hand and just directing your mind towards your right thumb, being aligned with your right thumb. And then noticing the index finger of your right hand. It's kind of you're taking a journey from one finger to the next. So your index finger, directing your mind towards that finger. And then staying on your right hand, moving on to your middle finger. And then to your ring finger. And then paying attention to your little finger of your right hand. Just trying to be in sync, in connection with now your full right hand and all the fingers. And then moving on to your left hand, become aware of your left hand. And then start with your thumb of your left hand. So trying to focus on your thumb of that left hand and not worrying about it whether you're able to do that or not. It's in the practice, in the trying, and if your mind wanders, just very gently and mindfully direct your mind and your attention back to your thumb of your left hand, and then your index finger of your left hand. And then moving on to your middle finger of your left hand. Moving on to your ring finger of your left hand. And moving on to your little finger of your left hand. And then focus on your whole left hand. And then bring your awareness back to your breathing. Notice when you inhale. And notice when you exhale without changing anything of your breaths. Just becoming aware of your inhalation and your exhalation. And when you're ready, open your eyes, bringing your awareness also into the external world, into this room. And just allowing your body on its own to wiggle a little bit, whether it's your fingers, your toes, your arms. Just think about you're waking up and you're doing your good morning stretch and sounds, if you have one. You might just wake up and nothing moves at all. It's just your breath, or you go.
No, when I get up, it's,
You get up and. All right, and with this, we'll finish our session for today.
nothing today, right?
North Home residents, I hope you had a good class, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. What is this for? This for sound?
I appreciate your talking about breathing because I tend